Hey, I've got a long lead into the first question about a criminal activity that goes on within prisons. I'm not going to repeat that, but I understand, for you, Mr. Wetzel, I understand that criminals will often reoffend, and why is the Bureau of Prisons unable to get a hold of that problem?
Excuse me. Thank you, Senator. There's a lot of talk around staffing, and the reality is that if you have a large group of incarcerated people and they're not overseen, you have a few number of staff, people are going to default to the lowest common denominator. So when you don't have enough staff to oversee and do basic security functions, these things go by the wayside, and then we get to a place where people are arming themselves to feel safe when they're stealing to provide things for themselves. So again, it comes down, we talk a lot about correctional staffing, and I appreciate you mentioning wellness because, our staff, we need to take care of our staff. Over COVID in particular, 2 years of COVID when most of America was on Zoom, these guys are Zooming around prisons because we don't have enough staff, And security falls off first, and it happens quickly, and it's hard to get back. And then you add a lack of oversight even from a management standpoint. Management is short. You got a big department that's spread out all over the country, so you don't have internal controls, and then you all don't have the controls here to even compel getting that information. So I think it's a construct, but when you go back, its root cause is staffing.
Mr. Fawzi, we just heard that staffing's a problem. The Bureau's budget has also increased by nearly $1 billion in the past 5 years, with much of it supposed to be for staffing. Do we know where the money has gone? If yes, where? If no, then what efforts have been taken to track Bureau of Budget expenditures, and why? What kind of cooperation has the Bureau of Prisons provided?
Thank you, Senator Grassley, for the chance to answer that question. We're asking the same question as where does the money go? And I think if you've seen the posture of our council as a whole, we're supporters of additional funding, and we see the necessity of it. But I think more importantly attached to that must be oversight. This body and your counterparts must watch where every dollar goes. And I think the fluidity of the Bureau's budget and their ability to move them between line items can tend to misuse those funds in the wrong places. And I think our staffing crisis might improve if there was a little bit of oversight on the funding that we do get.
Ms. Cardenas, I wanted to ask you, because you went through a program at Camp Bryan, Texas. How effective were those programs, and how much did you benefit from it, and in what way would you say they could be improved?
I went to Blinn College while I was incarcerated and took the accounting certificate program. That one helped me a lot because I was going to school for accounting prior to incarceration, so it just helped me stay educated while I was in there. I mainly took classes that helped me with finding job placement once I released. I think there should be more programs like that, because right now you have a lot of programs that really don't help you with rehabilitation and coming home. And I think they also probably need to focus on like counseling and things like that. But I know when I was in school, they didn't allow for you to go for like a bachelor's or a master's. And I think that would be beneficial to people incarcerated, because if it takes 4 years to learn a new trade or learn something in a new field to be able to go out and get a job, I mean, what better would that do for the people incarcerated, to not rehabilitate again?
Senator Booker, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, he is far down on the dais, but he is very near in our hearts.